I think you've been in Turkey, and I looked up a little bit of your history.
Hmm.
So I saw that you've worked, and I think that, and you're giving lessons in this fashion. I think that's all potentially interesting.
Great. Well, I mean, hit me. I'm available. I'm recording this lesson right now, so I can easily trim this section and send it back to you.
Yeah, let me take the guitar off,
Sure.
and let's just let me get into interview mode now.
Now we're switching sides.
Yeah, and let's see. Um, can you set it so it'll be speaker highlighted?
Uh, you mean whoever talks is in the picture? Let
Yeah.
me, yeah, I think I can. Let me see. I think I have to remove the pin here. Yeah, I think now it's that way.
Okay.
Oh, actually, let me make sure I remove this pin here. Uh, yeah, I think it works that way. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let's see. I pronounce your name Ulrich. Is it Ulrich or Ulrich?
Ulrich, Ulrich.
Ulrich Ellison.
Awesome.
Okay. Um. So. Um. Hello. This is John Joseph Xavier Cihon in Pittsburgh, and today I'm talking to Ulrich Ellison, who's a
Hey,
guitar instructor born in Austria. I just had a lesson with him, and he's currently living in Turkey. So
awesome,
first
John.
off,
Nice to have you here.
yes, thank you so much. Thanks for being here today. And first off, why don't you give us just the Cliff Notes version of your life with guitar? When did you start playing? Tell us just. I know you have numerous professional accomplishments, so let's distill it down to about 30 seconds, and then after that we'll go into what you're doing now.
Awesome. So yeah, 30 seconds. So started playing piano as a kid in Austria, switched to guitar at age 14, started rocking out with various bands around town. Got serious when I was 18, moved to the capital Vienna, studied music, cut my teeth in the local scene, made some more successes as a sideman, recorded my first album, got a Fulbright jazz scholarship to move to Austin, Texas, and study jazz there. And of course, the move to Austin changed everything for me. And that's where my career really started. And fast forward uh, 13, 14 years, here I am teaching guitars, mentoring students all over the world, and helping them to achieve their goals while I'm still touring myself as well.
Um, Now I know you have been touring, but that's been shut down because of the current world situation, right?
Yes, you got it.
And and so as you told me, you're in Turkey right now, correct?
I'm in Turkey, in Ankara right now with my partner here.
Um, so I know this is probably a whole interview in and of itself, but most of the people who are watching this are not too familiar with Turkey. I think it's just a name they hear on the news every so often, and they don't think about it aside from aside from how it relates to U.S. foreign policy. So, is there a music scene in Turkey, and how are you enjoying Turkey? What would you say about the place to people who have never had the opportunity to go there?
So I would describe Turkey as very hospitable, friendly country with lots of great agriculture. So if you talk about fish, vegetables, and fruit, fantastic country to live in. As far as the music scene goes, we're not seeing much of that right now here as well. But Istanbul has a fantastic scene. I'm in Ankara, which is the capital. There's a little less going on here, but still, I've met some cool musicians from all different styles. Generally, I have to say that my expectations were completely different than what I expected. You know, when you watch the news, like you say, you get a different picture. And maybe that's an important lesson for us, that, you know, it's always different what you hear and see in the news than when you're actually in a country. I mean, here in Ankara, everything is very European. Uh, if you drive on a highway, you don't really notice that much difference to being in Germany or Austria. You have a little bit of that Middle Eastern influence, and so, you know, but all the good stuff basically. And as far as politics and so go, you know, people here live just as freely as in any part of the Western world, and you don't, I don't ever get the feeling that I'm, you know, if anything, there was situations in the US where I felt more like I was in the police state here in Turkey. So
Interesting. So you've been giving. I know I just had a Zoom lesson with you, and you've been giving Zoom lessons.
yeah.
And it seems like you have students from all over the place. Where are the bulk of your students concentrated? Is there one area? Are they mostly Americans, or are
They're
they
kind
spread
of all
out?
over the place. There's, I would say, maybe 50% Americans, but you know, it's just a huge country. And a bunch of people from the UK, some people from Central Europe. You know, we got a guy from Ibiza, even. What else do we have? Yeah, mainly Europe and United States. One guy from Australia.
And then I think we can wrap it up here, but just to close, just tell us a little bit about the lessons and your theories and the ideas and the philosophy behind the lessons that you're giving.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Um,
So yeah.
and I know we talked a little bit about what Jimi Hendrix means to you, so I presume you're going to mention that, and if you weren't, let's definitely tie that all into Hendrix.
Right on. Yeah. So, you know, the bottom line is I see myself less as a teacher and more as a coach and player. So I want to share with my students what I have to offer from that perspective of being a working musician. And of course, I studied all the theory, and you know, not to say that I don't have the capability of being a regular teacher, but I believe that music is a language of the soul, and it cannot just be boiled down into dry, how should I say, just technical kind of lessons. So instead, in my program, it's called Total Guitar Transformation, I'm relating all the topics to the music of Jimi Hendrix. Jimi has an important role in my own career. Early on it was, and then, you know, I had a big shift when I was 23, when I got sick, almost had a come to Jesus moment with his music. But beyond that, I also realized the potential he had on so many other guitar players. I mean, thousands of other players. And when I dug a little deeper, I was surprised. You know, his influence reaches from guys like John McLaughlin to people like John Frusciante, or also Steve Vai, Dimebag Darrell in the metal field. So it's just like all over the stylistic barriers. You will see people that were heavily influenced by his musicality and his musical spirit. So I figured it's a great idea to use him kind of as a lightning rod and guiding figure in my program. My students have a lot of fun learning those Hendrix songs, and it makes it easier to break more complex theory subjects down when you have some cool music to work with, rather than just to general say, yeah, you can take those two structures and play them over, you know, whatever. But I'm saying, no, let's look at manic depression, and I'm going to show you what options we have to play over this. So it's not necessarily either a program to learn how to copy Hendrix the best way possible, but to kind of use his musicianship to develop your own voice on guitar and be able to express yourself as freely, or somewhat closely as freely as he was able to do. Hope, does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Great.
I'll make sure that we have a link so people can check your program out below this video when it posts.
Yeah,
And
I gotta add something else here. I'm currently I'm not actually selling the program like over the internet or so, but instead I'm finding people through my free workshop. So we can post a link to that free workshop, and then people that show interest, you know, they can meet up with me in a free lesson, and that's where we can find out if they're a good fit for the program. So I kind of handpick all the students. I think that's also special.
sounds good. Was there anything else that you wanted to add before we close it out?
Just want to close with a Frank Zappa quote: "Music is the best."